hear me? Boom, 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 boom. That's fantastic. Thank you all for being here. It's 2 o'clock. I want to get this thing going. The room is filling up. People are piling in. Appreciate that so much. Your usual host, Mr. John Marone, is out of pocket today. Um, my name is Matt Feathers. I am a real estate agent in the Nashville market, and I am also a part of the CINC Live team, just like John. Been working with those guys since, let's see, it'll be holy cow, 4 years this month. Also been using CINC as my primary platform, CRM lead gen source since 2014. So been on it for a while, know it pretty well. They keep inviting me back anyway. So super pumped to be here. I'm going to shift gears a little bit, kind of take it maybe one step further than what conversion typically looks like, or at least the conversion call looks like every Monday. But before I do that, I'm going to throw up this chat box here and take a peek. It's a rainy Monday here in Tennessee, and I need you guys to tell me something good. It can be real estate related, it can be personal, it can be whatever. Just I need to see some good words and let it come on in. And I would just appreciate hearing some stuff. What's somebody got? I need to see something in the chat box. Tell me something good on this rainy Monday. Awesome. We got a brand new user, it looks like. Scored a listing. This is what I need to see. I need to get fired up because, again, it is a gloomy rain. Okay, sunny in San Diego. Didn't need to hear that, but that's to be expected, right? That's the norm out there. First day in 5 closings this month. This is good stuff, guys. This is gratitude. This is what I need to see. One of our challenging listings is closing this week. Boom, Lizzie, congratulations. And back to Maryland, 5 closings this month. That is awesome. Hopefully some of those are from CINC. If they're not, I'm going to help you get to that point today. 1 client under contract, appointments, investments, close 3 deals. Oh man, it's pouring in. It's pouring in. We got over 100 people here. Again, thank you guys so very much. It is just me. I don't have a moderator or anybody else helping me out. So I do want you guys to feel like you can send some questions over. So don't hesitate to do so. I'll get to them the best that I can. It might help if you let me just get through my spiel here and save some questions for the end. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy this. It's typically something that we do not talk about outside of CINC-U. It's kind of exclusive for CINC-U folks, people that come to our training in-house, the destination trainings. And yeah, it's only on audio. There's no video at the moment. I'm about to share my screen though, guys, so sit tight. Thank you for that question. But if you were just at CINC-U last week in Atlanta, we had upwards of like 70 or 80 people. This might be a good little refresher for you, or you just saw it. You might want to check out for a bit, but I hope you'll hang with me. But John talks a lot about making the dials, right? Objections, just mindset, getting on the phone, right? I want to take it a step further and talk about what do we do after that, right? So hopefully you guys are time blocking your days, you're prospecting your P filters, P1, 2, 3, mornings and afternoons, and any other thing that is out there as far as you guys digging deep within your database or maybe even your sphere. But let's just say we get these folks on the phone, right? Well, what's next? And I think there's way too much of a mindset these days that just getting somebody on the phone is a win. And don't get me wrong, it is. But getting somebody on the phone, having a great conversation, and just setting up their search, adding a few notes, talking, having some casual conversation, talking about what they're looking for. It's not enough, guys. Believe it or not, they're doing that with probably 3, 4, 5 other people. Let's set ourselves apart. Let's make a difference. Let's help them. Let's meet them where they're at, and let's help them. So what I want to talk about with you guys today is the buyer consultation. So we get somebody on the phone. We have to remind ourselves that we're not just order takers. We're not just updating their search. That's just a glorified, and we say it all the time, that's just a glorified Applebee's server. It's what everybody else is doing. We want to set ourselves apart from our competition, and doing so will allow you to hopefully set that appointment. We want to close. We want to ask for that appointment. That appointment could be face-to-face, could be via Zoom. I just recently did a Zoom call with a military client that is moving to Clarksville, Tennessee from Germany. Well, the face-to-face buyer consultation is not, it's not going to happen for a while. So I said, hey, let's hop on a Zoom. And we recommend that these things are done face-to-face, over coffee, for a beer, happy hour, whatever. Bring them into your office, show them your operation. But the one thing we do want to make clear, and we don't recommend, is don't do these things at the first showings, at the first house you guys look at. Everybody knows that when you break the plane of that door, it becomes all about that house, right? It becomes all about the house you guys are looking at. So want to keep them focused, want to learn a little bit more about them, dig a little bit deeper into their situation. But again, like last week at CINC, we had 60 dialers on day 3. There were 65 appointments set with our scripts, overcoming objections, all the training that those folks went through, same kind of stuff that you guys get every other Monday here. 65 appointments set. Our contact ratio, so once we had somebody pick up the phone, contacted to appointment, was 38%. Our norm is somewhere between 30 and 33. So we were above average there for $1.2 million in commission opportunities. So my point here is, guys, is that you guys are learning the scripts. You're nailing the opening line. You're digging deep. You're finding out their why. What's next, right? We're not just going to nurture them. We're not just going to follow up every week or 2 weeks or every month. You do that, somebody else will get their business. Let's get them face to face. So that's what I'm going to do here today. Talk a little bit more about our buyer consultation. We do present this at CINC, and let me get it shared here from share screen. All right, guys, thumbs up. I need to see some thumbs up if you guys can see that. Let me know. Chat, yes, thumbs up, raise hand, whatever. All right, cool. Looks like it's out there. So my colleague, a lot of you guys know Lance. Lance created CINC, been around with CINC even longer than I have. Well, we spent a lot of time together, and we said, hey, once we get them out of here, we want to prepare them for that face-to-face interaction. And really, a lot of folks, I think, at this place in real estate, because it can be difficult to get buyers to work with. It can, be a challenge to get them to meet you, to go look at homes. But what we found is that when you do this, that you are setting expectations for the entire process. And I want to talk a little bit about that. There's really two goals of the buyer consult, is to set expectations for the process, start to finish, from day number 1 until closing day. What does that all look like? And then 2, this face-to-face conversation is really all about, hopefully you got it on the phone. Hopefully you got their why, but this face-to-face conversation is just reestablishing, reaffirming, digging even deeper into their why. Why are they moving? What brought them to your website? Why are you looking for homes? So you got a pretty good idea, right? But I think when you're face-to-face, whether that's in person or over Zoom, it allows you to personalize this process. You get to dig even deeper. And we do that through a ton of eye contact, asking a lot of questions, but the trick is to let them speak, right? We already have a pretty good idea of their why. At least we should. But once we're face to face, we're sitting at a table. Well, now it all becomes to come into play, right? And it's just reaffirmed. And I highly recommend you guys put the phones down, put them in your back pocket, put them in your bag, put them in your purse. But just personalize this. Act like you care. Be vested in them, and it'll go a very, very long way. Give them the attention, right? Be a good listener. Let them speak. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. This might take 15 minutes. We'll tie out with some questions on the back end. But hang with me here for just a bit. But I do want to start out by saying, who is doing a buyer consultation? Who is meeting with folks and talking through things before they run out and show them homes? I want to know. Give me a yes or no. Let's see what the scoop is. George, good deal. Maryland, that's awesome. Every time. I love it. And never show it in the house till we meet in person. Whole group. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. This is awesome, guys. It looks like we're all kind of trending in that direction. And that is good to hear. If you're not, be open-minded. Check this out. I think you'll be on board after this. Linda, that's a good point. Now, I'm not going to get, I do have ADD, but I'm not going to chase squirrels, but I am going to point this out. We are in a relocation market ourselves, whether it's folks that are just, moving here from out of state. We are a bit more tax friendly. They're overly taxed or overly mandated here, there, everywhere. Their dollar goes a little bit further, but we also do have quite a bit of industry here. So we get people for work. We do get a lot of relocation people that fly in, fly out. So there is some circumstances where, yeah, you may not have time to meet them for coffee, but just want to throw that out there because it could be the case. There's no one way to do this, but I do want to throw this out there in case you guys do see the value and want to get on board. And two, like, I'm not your team leader. I'm not your broker. Everything I say is not the golden gospel. So if there's anything you question or want to dig deeper into, reach out to me on social media, talk to your broker, talk to your team leader, and go from there. But we've already kind of established who's doing them, why are they important? Again, set expectations for the whole process. And do we really need them? Do we really need a buyer consult? I think so. I think it's our opportunity to set ourselves apart from our competition. All right. Structure. So what does this consultation look like? Well, first part of the conversation is not even really real estate related. It's just me, like I said, reaffirming, reestablishing, why are they moving? And you probably already talked about this, but let's talk about it again. Let's dig into that emotion. Let's make that eye contact, dig deep, tons of questions, lots of listening, right? We're going to show them that we're care and that we're vested in this process, vested in them. We're going to meet them wherever they're at in their situation and help them. These leads are just humans, guys. We overthink this process. We think they're bad leads. We think they're jerks. We think we know more than them, but whatever the case may be. But I promise you, they're definitely not cold leads. They reached out to you. They came to your website to look at homes. So this is not cold calling. So now we have got to get with them. We got to set the appointment. That's how we close. All right. People make decisions in life. It's based on pain or pleasure in most aspects of life, just not even just real estate. Now, as far too, like, one thing I think it's important to point out, especially in this climate that's very seller heavy, it is definitely a seller's market, at least in most places. I know things are softening in some places, but most everywhere is still a seller's market. So it's important to establish whether or not these prospects, these customers, not going to call them clients yet because they're not, whether they need a house or they want a house, right? I've got a client now that is moving to Nashville to take a job for a consumer packaged goods company. He's moving here from North Carolina. Does he need a house or want a house? He needs a house, right? Got another client that wants to move to my town, to the city I live in Hendersonville, Tennessee, because she wants to be closer to her grandchildren, her son and her son and his wife and their children. She has a great house south of Nashville, about an hour and a half away. She doesn't need a house. She wants a house. So talk through this. And the reason I say this is because you guys know how challenging this market is. It is challenging for buyers. And truth be told, buyers are a dime a dozen right now. If you prospect and hit your phones like you should, day in and day out, you're going to talk to a lot of people that want to buy a house. But I think it's important to vet them, right? Let's find out if they can really carry their own weight in this market. Let's find out their pre-approval. Let's find out their proof of funds. Let's talk about how much cash they have. Let's really find out, if they're able to get it done in this market. So only way you're really going to do that is face-to-face. Otherwise, it just kind of seems a little shallow and hollow. So highly recommend we get this party started face-to-face. Next piece. Obviously, we're going to find out as much about this. Let's make this about them. We're going to find out everything we can about them. But this is an awesome time, guys, to tell them about your home buying system, right? And we just call this a VIP home buying system. Make them feel important. People want to feel loved and feel important. Show them all the tools that you have. You guys are CINC clients, whether you're single agent, on a team leader. CINC's expensive, right? You guys invest into leads, into this platform. I'm a client too. I'm a client as well. So, I get it. So we want to show them all of our tools and our plan that come in behind helping them find a home. So yeah, we do have a customized plan, and there are some fundamentals to it. We can also kind of critique it and shape it to meet your situation and your needs, but we offer protection. We're here for you. Like we are here for you through this process. Reach out to me when you need something, not to other websites, not to, family and friends, or I've got a friend that does this. I am the expert, right? Let's establish that. We have preferred vendors. We have people that will loan you money to buy a house. We've got preferred title companies. We've got preferred inspectors, lists of 3 to 4 or maybe more. We've got preferred termite inspectors. If you guys are a single agent or maybe a brand new agent to the business, don't ever tell anybody that you're on your own or it's just me, because it's really not. You're a team. You have a team of people. You are absolutely a team in real estate. If you don't have those folks, obviously you want to get those established, but convey confidence, convey support to these people. Opportunity analysis. Let's just look at their situation and see what makes the most sense for them, right? Tech and tools with CINC is a big deal. I'm passionate about it. I love it's 2021, right? We want to set them up for success and give them tools for this process. The ETA app, very underutilized. I see this month in and month out at CINC, but the ETA app actually does send folks that are signed up on it and have a saved search created. It will send them push notifications for instant alerts. It's kind of a big gripe all the time with our property alerts and our inability to do that within CINC. Well, this is the opportunity. This is the piece of tech that everybody needs as far as looking for something maybe that's difficult or challenging or hard to find. But they can create the search, or you can create the search. You can button it up for them on the back end within their lead profile. And if they have the ETA app, and I pointed it out there too, so you can see where it takes place, they can turn on instant alerts and it's pushed to their phone via the app. I like this better than my MLS. I like this much better than emails. My emails get inundated and I lose stuff. I don't see stuff, but everybody's got their phone in their hand. Most everybody's signed up on sites, looking for homes, but this is our app, right? This is our system. Keep them on our stuff. And it just gives you so much more credibility and validity when you have these things, these tools. Okay. Property alerts. Explain to them, yeah, you might get some property alerts from us that are pending or under contract, but hey, things change. I need you to look at those. I need you to favorite properties that you like, favorite properties within the site. This gives me some good feedback on things that you do like. And I always tell this story, but it needs to be heard. A lot of folks like to exclude these things. They like to exclude the under contract properties. And yeah, some of your clients or customers will get frustrated by seeing those. But what about your cash investor client that, can make a run at something? I had a house that was sent to an investor client of mine that he was interested in that was pending. And I followed up on it, and it had a kick out clause on it. We wrote an offer, unfortunately kicked out the original buyer, and he got that home. If I would have excluded pending alerts from going to my investor, his name's Bob, then he would have never seen that property. So I want to encourage you guys to send stuff out, show the value, let them see things. They can favorite properties. And again, we all know things and situations change. The negotiation process. Let's talk about this. I mean, you talk about from start to finish. That offer is just the first part, right? That's just getting the party started. We talk about the negotiation process that goes into winning the deal, getting the offer, going under contract. But you got to let them know too, look, we could potentially be negotiating the inspection. We could potentially be negotiating the appraisal process. And not to mention other things that pop up, closing date amendments, financing issues, all sorts of things. So make sure that they're aware that, like, look, this is just where things get started, right? And I think that aligns very well with contract to close. Like, once we go under contract, it's not over, guys. We're not popping bottles. We're not high-fiving. Like, look, we can be happy about it, but look, guys, this is time to ramp it up. It's time to get even more serious. We got to hang on. We're going to make it to the finish line. So this is a good time to talk about it. 3 shocking facts. Let's talk about this. Who actually represents who? Question for you guys. Would you list a house without a listing agreement? Probably not. Sonny, thing is a quick no. No, absolutely not. So in terms of agency, and again, I'm not going to get into too much stuff state specific or break any china within your own teams or anything like that. But this is where we start kind of talking about that, exclusive buyer broker agreement, right? This is where fiduciary duty and agency is established in most states. Again, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of Texas and Alabama and California and New Jersey, but we've got to lay this out there at some point. And then who manages the 100+ variables in the deal? Things pop up, things change. It happens. So who's going to take care of that? That's what we're here for. I'm here for you. I'm serving you. And if you go to Google and you type in 100+ variables in a real estate deal, you'll probably get 500. There's way more than 100. I can promise you that. But this, again, if you think back to the goal of this process, is to set the expectations, right? Set the expectations for how you're going to spend your next 30, 60, 90 days. You're flying the plane. You're going to lay it all out there and be able to drive it home better. Costly mistakes and consequences. Buyers don't realize this, but they cost themselves a lot of money by doing the wrong things, by not listening to me, by listening to your uncles, brothers, cousins that works for the city as a codes inspector who's not really a home inspector. Let's keep them focused, guys, right? Listen to us. We're going to be vested in them. They need to be vested in us. And oh, by the way, did you know that the average agent sells roughly 6 homes a year? Now, there might be some new agents on this call. We're going to get you there. And if you struggle with conveying this, speaking out to agents that are new, like if you struggle with conveying that, yeah, I'm new to the business, Well, reference your skills, reference things that you've done in the past, reference your team, reference your brokerage. We've been in business since 2003 or 2006, and here's what we do. You're not lying, you have support. So, have confidence. You're here, you're on these conversion calls, you're making the dials, you're making the effort. Don't diminish yourself. Turbulence during the deal. I use the analogy all the time of I'm flying the plane. I'm the one in the cockpit. My goal is to have you sit in first class or coach or wherever and just enjoy the ride. Okay. But we're going to probably hit some turbulence. And it's so much easier, guys, so much easier to get out in front of it now. Bring it up. Bring up the horror stories. Talk about things that can go south, right? Let's get out in front of it during this face-to-face, and then you'll be so surprised when something does hit a snag. It won't seem like such a big deal because we already talked about it, right? So let's talk about the home inspection. Most inspectors, it's their job to find issues, right? Like, look, you're going to do an inspection on a home. I don't care if it's built in 2020, 2021, or in 1921. We're going to find some issues. That's why we do it. It's why we do the inspection. But let me ask you this. You know how challenging this market is. If I were to find let's just say a roof issue, there's not a leak, but there's some historical hail damage. It's going to need a new roof in, 3 or 4 years. But right now it probably needs $5 or $6 grand in work. Well, if they walk away from that and go back on the market, you just worked your butt off, right? You just won this offer. Well, they walk away. Well, now they're 30, 60, 90 more days out from having another one for another win. And you and I, all 200 people that are on this call, we all know that prices are going up. They go back on the market, they go back on the hunt, they're going to be spending $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 anyway. So these are the kind of conversations you got to be having with folks. Let's just be real, right? We already talked about the property alerts that are pending. Those are going to hit their inbox. It happens. There's no way around it, guys. You can get an alert that hits your box at 9 a.m. They come home that evening and check their emails. And by the time they check their emails, it's already under contract. It happens. It's so much easier to manage when we get out in front of it. Okay. Turbulence with the appraisal. I think in some markets, like appraisers, they're having a hard time keeping up with the market, right? Or maybe it's just moving a little too fast. Or maybe the appraiser is just lazy, right? We do everything we can to help get the number to the right place, but doesn't always work out. So let's get in front of that. Financing is the same way. Encourage your folks to, do what they got to do on their end to stay buttoned up between them and their lender. But something could happen with financing, right? God forbid, lose a job or who knows what it is. But delays happen, right? Processing delays happen. There's all sorts of things that can go into that. So just get out in front of it. Contingencies, you might bump into some properties that do have contingencies, home sale contingency. Let's map that out there. Let's also talk about their situation. What do they need to do to buy this house? Do they need to sell something first? Or can they buy without doing so? What are the strategies? What are the options? It's a good time to talk about it. But again, I always use that analogy of flying the plane, right? Landing the plane. I love talking about turbulence ahead of time. Think about it. When we're flying in an airplane and all of a sudden the plane, goes sideways or goes up and down and it's bumpy. It's like, whoa, where'd that come from? But when the pilot comes across in advance of that and he says, hey guys, heads up, it's going to get bumpy for a minute. And then it happens. It's not as big of a deal, right? Same thing. We just want to get out in front of it. This is where we get into, after speaking to the turbulence, this is where we get into the buyer commitments. Like, hey guys, this is a dance, right? We have some expectations of you. If I'm going to invest into this time and this process, like I need some things in return. But we recommend people be available to look at homes, preferably weekdays. And yes, I understand a lot of stuff doesn't go live until Thursdays, Fridays, but have some availability. Most of those multiple offers happen over the weekend too. But if we can jump on something, get out there on a Wednesday or early Thursday, let's hop to it, right? Utilize our tools. We already talked about that. Let's get them on our stuff. We can see their activity. We can communicate with them. I just prefer to have them using our tools, ETA app included. Cash or finance? Are you paying cash or are you planning to finance? And that's the way we should ask this question, not only while we're prospecting. I'm sure John has talked about that, but we always ask, are you paying cash or are you going to look to have a mortgage? Do you currently own or are you renting? You know, you don't want to ever offend or upset anybody that does have cash or that does own a home. So we lead with cash or finance. If you are paying cash, do you have proof of funds? If you don't, we need it. We need to see it. I'm not the only person that's going to be asking for it. It's going to be the sellers as well. Okay. So let's go ahead and get that out there. And I'm not even going to go down the trail of, are we showing homes without proof of funds or pre-approval? You better not be. It's a waste of your time, right? There might be some circumstances here or there, but they need to value and appreciate our time and where we're coming from. So that should be the expectation before I run out and swing a door for you. Okay. Don't be afraid to ask for it. And oh, by the way, I know a lot of you guys are doing these above and beyond appraisal, bringing extra cash to closing because it's what it takes these days, right? If you're doing that, make sure you have proof of funds for that money. I don't care if it's $5,000, $10,000, or whatever. I recently won a multiple offer for a VA offer. And as you guys, most of you guys know, that's very little to no money down in most situations. But we offered X amount of dollars over the appraisal in the event it did not appraise. And I asked my client, he's my client, if he wouldn't mind sending me proof of funds for those dollars. I think it was $30,000. And he sent me a screenshot of $30,000 with his name on it. And I think I really, considering it was VA, I think that's what solidified the deal. Proof of funds, right? Even if it is financed. So the other one there, being responsive to your lender. If a lender asks for something, don't drag your feet, right? Don't drag your feet. Let's be on top of this. Let's get things done. Let's get things submitted. Let's get things signed. Okay. Last thing there is, and you guys should know this, I'm sure you do, but if your client walks into new construction or to an open house on a Saturday or Sunday, make sure they use our contact info. This is where you can explain like the fiduciary duty, right? Whose fiduciary duty, or who the sales agent in that model home, who's their fiduciary duty to? It's not to our client. They might think it is, or they might think they're getting a better deal by walking in that model home. They're not. It's illegal in most states anyway. That model agent, that sales agent's fiduciary duty is to the seller, to the builder. Same way with open houses. Huge misconception out there that listing agents can get buyers a better deal. Highly doubtful. And I don't think that's in their best interest. I think that's something we can all agree on. After all this, guys, after all of this conversation, and this may have lasted 10, 15 minutes, it may have lasted an hour. I typically enjoy these things. I like spending time with people. But at this point is where we talk about our exclusive buyer broker agreement. You know, we've showed them our value up to this point. My hope is that after doing so, and this needs repetition, guys, it's just like going to the weight room, right? You're not going to be able to bench press 300 if you only do it, you know, if you're bench pressing 225 once. It takes a lot of reps. So do these things, get good at them. But at this point, I think in the conversation is where you can slide that piece of paper over, and don't make it about yourself. Don't make it about your brokerage. Help them to understand why it's in place. It's for them, right? It's for them. One thing that I do want to point out is on your forms, guys, make sure that, I don't want to say that they need to be open-ended, because I don't think that that's right or fair, but they need to be comprehensive, right? I use this example. We talk about it at CINC all the time. On my team, we had one of our agents that prospected in CINC, set an appointment, went out, showed a home, wrote an offer, won a multiple offer. And then all of a sudden we get a phone call from another agent. Hey, I've got an exclusive buyer agreement with these people. Well, what had happened is when now those same people had worked with this agent prior to this, that agent sent a purchase and sale agreement over for signature on a home that they had made a run at in the past and snuffed that exclusive rep or buyer rep agreement in. Didn't explain it, didn't talk about the value, just snuck it in. And our agent's upset, obviously. The other agent's kind of beating down our door. Hey, these are my people. What are you going to do about this? And I just said, hey, shoot it over to me. Well, I looked at the buyer broker agreement that she had in place, the one that she snuck in, and had them sign it. And it was capped at, it was up to $300,000. Well, the deal that Morgan, our agent, had under contract was for $330,000. So that agreement was null and void. So be prepared for that, guys. You never know, protect yourselves, protect your clients, and just keep that in mind when you're out there getting these things all set up. At this point, now, if you notice something, guys, we have not spoken really a lot about what they're looking for, right? It's by design. It's no different than what John teaches you guys on this bi-weekly call. We're digging deep, we're finding out their why, maybe talking a little bit about their time frame before this. But again, that's by design. It's meant to establish that relationship, right? Get them vested in us just as much as we're trying to get vested in them. But at this point, start pulling out that laptop. They're in your office, put it up on the big screen. We'll start talking about what they're looking for now. Let's have some fun, right? Let's look at what properties are out there. Let's create a custom search and get them excited about this. Your tools, guys. Again, this stuff you pay a lot of money for, get them excited. We don't think it's a big deal, but I love making the biggest deal out of the smallest things. For my listings, like for my sellers, I make the biggest deal about my lockbox. Hey guys, check this out. Whenever somebody opens it, I'm alerted to it. They're like, whoa, that is awesome. Do the same thing with your system. Get them excited about it. Make them a custom search. Add, the secondary contact. Create the profile for them. Get them set up on Edda. Get them set up on the Edda app while you're there face to face. And then as you're talking about what they're looking for. Well, unfortunately, in this market, you can't always get what you want, right? So it's a great time. Let's focus on their plan A. But when you plug these things in and stuff's not popping up, it's not out there, it's not what they're looking for, it's okay to ask, like, what's their plan B? What's your backup plan, right? You can't find what you're looking for right now. What's your backup plan? So let's talk through that. And then too, I just explain, like, look, real estate's a math equation. Location plus condition plus size equals price. It's the way it is everywhere, guys. That's universal. Location plus condition plus size equals price. Well, they've already told us what they're pre-approved for, what they're willing to spend. If I can find that right location and I can find the right size, but I can't find the right condition, well, we got to change. It's a variable. We got to change some things around, right? So just be prepared to talk about that. And that's all I've got in terms of buyer consultation. I can't believe I spoke for like 40 minutes on that. But I enjoyed the time. Hopefully that was super helpful. I'm going to start going through the chat box here. If there is anything that you guys would like to speak to in the consultation piece, throw it in there now. Of course, if you come to CINC, some of you guys, I see a lot of familiar names. Come back. to CINC. We'll talk through it again. You'll get to see the full production. Stu, these webinars, most of them are recorded. Check cincommunity.com. And if it's not, again, guys, CINC, I'll type that up there actually, cincommunity.com. Let's see, hold on. There it is, cincommunity.com. There it is. So that might be a good destination. Well, thank you guys for the kind words. I appreciate that so much. If not, you guys can all find me on social media. My name is Matt Feathers. I know a ton of you. Love the CINC, my CINC family. But don't hesitate to reach out to me on social media, Matt Feathers. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, in anytime. Let's see, how to overcome, I'm not ready yet, I'm not interested, I have an agent. All right, Ben, that's good objection. If, you know, some of that stuff I might have established, that's right, Nathan, that's me. Some of that stuff you've got to establish on the phone call. But I promise you this, like if I get to that face-to-face, I'm going to win some people over just in what I offer, my tools. But, you know, you're going to find out a lot of things on that phone call. And if they're not ready during the face-to-face, well, that's okay. John says next a lot. You guys have heard him say it. Next. It's okay to say next, you know, and that's why I said it's almost like a vetting process. It's a vetting process for buyers right now. So I'm good with that. Good question. Anything else, guys, before I shut it down about 10, 15 minutes earlier? Christy, you've got buyers that say they want to wait for the market to crash. Unfortunately, they're probably going to keep waiting, you know, and even if it does crash, and if they are financing, there's a chance that prices could level up or prices may go down. But what we've seen historically, Christy, and you can use this, what we've seen historically is that interest rates go up. So while you think you might be saving a little bit of money on the purchase price, do the math. This is where you can get your lender to help you out. Do the math. They're really not saving any money. And then that's just that's a prediction, right? We never know. Like if they're waiting for it to crash, they might keep waiting for a while, you know? It could keep going up. They could keep going up and they miss a great opportunity to buy something. So it's a situation where I know that's very delicate, but if it doesn't work out and they're not interested in making a move and being aggressive in this market, then we're going to find another person to work with. Let's see. There's another. What do you say when the prospect says they've seen homes with another agent, but have not signed anything with that agent? They are not committed to them, but they feel obligated. Yeah, you're right, Mark. They're not committed to them. They don't have anything in place. You know, now my worry with that is though, like if that, it's kind of like I hate to use this, it's kind of like the girl that cheated with you, right? She'll do it with you. She'll do it to somebody else. So be careful, man. People are flighty, but I think you can make a difference. You can make a difference by getting these folks face to face, seeing the value, get them committed. But yeah, if they've not signed anything with another agent, then they're really not truly committed. Let's see. One over a few that say they have a realtor. I say, okay, no, yeah, Brandy, it's a good point. I mean, I get it all the time on the phone. Like people say, like, oh, I'm already working with somebody. I just blow right by it, right? It's not important. They came to my website, and in my instance, like I'm paying for that lead. I'm going to make the most out of it, right? So don't give up. Biggest thing you can do, and I know John will back me up on this, biggest thing you can do is avoid asking if they have an agent. We don't ask that question. We don't ask that question with them when we're on the phone. Okay. So that's a good way to avoid it. Let's see. Anybody else? Anybody else? Questions? Hopefully you guys enjoyed the buyer consult. I know it's like a little bit of a gear shift from what you typically do on here, but we've had a ton of fun with it and a ton of success at CINC. And hopefully you guys saw some value there. Let's see, anybody else? Thanks, Nate. Appreciate that. Any other questions? It's kind of gotten quiet. Appreciate your all's time. If we're ending, oh yeah, Jason on the Edit app. What are your questions, pal? I think I saw that one earlier too. So my apologies not getting to it. But the Edit app, it is the consumer side. It is the client customer app that they can use. Push people to it. It is one thing I don't typically send it to everybody. It's kind of like that value added piece. It's that value added piece that I like to share with people when I'm working with them. So that's kind of our process with that. Copy of the presentation. I don't mind, guys. I typically save it for folks that come to CINC, but I will speak to our CINC Live team and see if they can get it to you guys. Yeah, sorry, Richard. It was moving really fast. If you want to retype some questions you might have, that's fine. Yeah, Etta Holmes, Linda, is in the it is in the site or in the App Store. But again, it's for your customers and clients. You can download it and have like a test account as a test user. So that's one thing that you can do. All right. What else, guys? We got time. How quickly do you, Ben, how quickly do you generally call a new lead, and usually what time of day? Speed to lead is crucial, guys. If it signs up, lead signs up, ideally you're getting to them within 5 minutes of them signing up. All right. Yes, leads do come in overnight, over the weekend. I've got 3 kids, 2 kids under 6. I don't like working all the time. So that's where I let AI work, or my speed to lead campaign. But Ben, got to get to them quick, man. If you don't, somebody else will. Somebody else is going to sell them a house. Just keep that in the back of your mind. All right. The buyer's only ready to buy in 6 months. Do you still go ahead? Absolutely. Jasmine, great question. Buyer's only ready to buy in 6 months. Do you still go ahead and set up the buyer console? Absolutely. Things change, right? Situations change. You might show them something that motivates them, gets them moving even faster. And 6 months, Jasmine, is not a long period of time, right? I'm gonna meet with them. I'm gonna get them set up on their custom search. I'm gonna stay in touch with them. And I mean, it's almost in this market, another 30, 45 days, they might want to start looking, right? So yeah, I think the answer is yes there. Great question. What is AI? If you go to cincommunity.com, you can find out a little bit more information about AI. Alex is our internal AI ISA is what I like to say. But speed to lead is being so important. We use AI to reach out to folks instantaneously, 24/7, as soon as they sign up. And you can find out more about that at cincommunity.com. Let's see. Questions. Seeing a ton of kind words. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Jasmine, I appreciate that so much. Just remember, guys, getting somebody to answer is a win. Don't get me wrong, but we've got to take it a little bit further. Once we make contact, we've got to set that appointment, and then we've got to get them to commit to that appointment. And once we have them face to face, one step closer to closing, and one step for them being committed to you. Tara, thank you so much. cincommunity.com, guys. Sign up for these webinars. Check out some of the other ones. Some really good stuff out there. And it works. The stuff you guys, I'm going to say this again. The stuff that you guys are signed up and experiencing with John every other week, check it out. It works. On Thursday, we had 60 dialers in Atlanta. They set 65 appointments. 38% of the folks that answered the phone, we got them to set an appointment. and the commission totaled up from 65 appointments was potentially $1.2 million. This stuff works. This stuff works. My goal here today was to kind of show you next best steps. Okay. So if there's not any more questions, I think that was about there. Jasmine said, did you say let's go have a coffee, or do you tell them you are doing that? This is another great question, Jasmine. You're on fire this Monday, this rainy Monday in Nashville. I don't like to use the word consult. I did that for you guys on my pretty little presentation there. People don't like to be consulted. You can say it's your VIP home, home buying meeting, or what you call it, whatever you want. But yeah, maybe avoid calling it a consult. I don't like to be consulted. I'm in the Bay Area. Cool. I was in San Mateo last fall, and I just flew in there to go to Napa. Beautiful area. Beautiful. I love the no humidity. We still got 100+ people in here. What are your questions, guys? Any questions? Let's see. I'm going to throw it up there again. CINCcommunity.com. Check it out. Good information there. If you're not signed up for this on a reoccurring manner, please do so. John's an absolute rock star. He is the man as far as opening line and scripting and objection handling. And I'm very, very honored and proud to be a part of that team. But I'm going to sign off. I hope you guys have a fantastic week and crush it. Oh, Christy, here we go, Christy. How do you handle when people keep hanging up on your intro, especially when you know they are looking at Christy, I got 8 minutes. Type in what your opening line is. Take all the time you need. While you're typing, I'm going to get a sip of water. Regardless of what she types in, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, focus on your tonality and practice your opening line. Hey, this is Christy from the Home Search site. Okay. Well, that is a good opening line, and it's the one we recommend. Okay, good. Good, Christy. Focus on your tonality. Focus on your dial times, mornings and afternoons. Tons of variables there. And it's okay to get hung up on. It's an absolute numbers game. This is a numbers game, right? You get hung up on, make the next dial. I promise you, when you have that good conversation, when you set that appointment, it's going to give you so much momentum. But focus on the tonality. Sound fun, sound interested. Just get them on that hook. And one way you can do that is, Christy, say it in front of a mirror. Say it to your spouse or partner, your kids, people in your office. Get that opening line nailed down. Nailed down. Say it to your dogs. Absolutely. Whoever. Make some eye contact. And 2, tonality is crucial. Stand up, sit up, get some oxygen. Nail that opening line. You have about, I think, 2 to 4 seconds to get them on the hook. Okay. Joe, yeah, let's see, asking if it's their name. What? Yeah, I mean, if you're getting hung up on multiple times, it's like you got to switch gears at some point. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you do catch people off guard. Sometimes you weird them out and they block your number. So it just varies. Okay. But yes, practice your opening line. That's how you get them. Okay. Any other questions? We're down to the last. I've had a ton of fun with you guys. Love the questions. Thank you for your time. I know how busy you are. But just absolutely awesome to be here with you guys. Hit me up on social media, Matt Feathers, MATT Feathers like a bird. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the above. And then I love to see you guys. Hope to see you guys at a CINC in the future. Our calendar for training, on top of all these webinars and information, our calendar for training is on cincommunity.com too. So love for you to get signed up and hang out, and hopefully see you guys soon. Hope you all have an awesome week. Make some dials, crush it, get on the phone with confidence, have some fun, and hope you all have a fantastic week. Take care. Bye-bye.